Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video here from Art Smart Academy. Thank you guys so much for clicking to watch and go through this tutorial with me. Today I'm going to show you guys a very quick and easy technique on how to blend pastel colored pencils. They remind me so much of graphite pencils, so if you see my last video on how to blend versus a blending stump versus using your finger, this will be very familiar, and I like to follow a lot of the same technique when I use these. So just as a color example, if I'm working on a sunset palette, I think that's the biggest thing for me is understanding your palette and your lighting and knowing where everything's going to be. So if I'm working from this and I'm looking at sunsets, that's what I'm going to be working on. Okay, so using any picture of reference that I have, and I think it's very important to get familiar with the medium that you're working in, practicing blending before you jump all in. So just getting familiar with this. You'll notice there's a lot of debris and fall off with this, so I'm being very careful on where placing, especially when you're working with a piece, where I want to place that color. So starting lightly and having the pencil very loose between my fingers, and then gradually bringing this down, and I'm gonna overlap the colors a little bit, so I'm gonna bring this yellow down. And taking my next color, again, I'm gonna overlap them, remembering to start light so that it's a gradual increase of color. And in between, I wanna make sure that I'm pushing down hard enough so that I can see that color transition. But I wanna make sure that it's smooth. Just starting off very lightly, going over that a couple times, maybe going in circles, and sometimes this will depend on the texture of your paper. This is a little bit thicker texture, so I'm gonna have some of that grit, and I would go over it a couple times if I didn't want any of those white spaces in there. I particularly don't mind, but it depends on what it is you're looking for. Again, with the pink, starting light and then gradually bringing that color down. If I'm going back up, doing the same thing. Now, using your finger can be a little messy, but I'm just going to show you that you can use this. And if you're at home and this is something that you're experimenting with, a good idea would be to use either a cotton ball, depending on the size of the either piece of paper that you're working on, or if you're using a canvas. It really just depends on the portion of your piece of paper. Mine's not very big, so it wouldn't be too difficult to use this. I'll use a cotton swab, use my finger, or use a Q-tip. Taking my finger, I'm just going to show you that it does blend. And if I want to take any of that excess color and bring it in, I can do that. Bringing it up and then going over this transition color a couple times, bringing that up so that it's a smooth transition of color. Now taking my blending stump and bringing some of that color in from the edges, bringing it up into the yellow and then down into the pink. Now blowing off any excess is going to leave you, like if you see here, it's going to streak across your paper. So, I mean, you can dump it off onto another page. You can continue to go over it until you're completely done with the blending process. Me, I don't mind it. And you can do this with any of the colors with these. And then you can just go over this a couple times until you have a nice smooth transition of color for the color palette that you have. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful and that in the future that we'll be able to use this technique for an upcoming piece. So make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you get notifications whenever we do upload. And make sure you guys follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure that you like our pages. Our summer camp is still available and open, so make sure that you guys go and check out our website, artsmartacademy.com. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video.